Hello, everyone. This is Rich A. from WindowsObserve.com and the Observe Tech Podcast, back with you again to bring you an update to a video I posted a few days ago, actually last Friday, about the new Tweetium app for Twitter that's on Windows 8.1 and Windows 8 now, developed by Brandon Paddock, otherwise known as Brandon Live on Twitter. The 1.1 update was released today, and it's got a massive list of updates that Brandon has been working on since the app hit the store last Friday, the initial release. And I want to walk you through those changes just so you can see some of those. So this is it won't be full-blown like the previous video I did. This will just be a recap of some of the features that have been updated. The videos are important, apparently, because I'm not sure if you're aware, but if you use Twitter and you use a Windows app or a Twitter app, a third-party app, Twitter restricts how many user tokens any one app can have, and that's whether they're active or inactive. And we've seen that hit Twitter developers hard. Last fall, this time of the year, it was Tweetium. We just learned today, Thursday, the 19th of December, that our friends at Rowie app are now discontinuing their Windows Phone and Windows app because they've hit that Twitter token limit as well. So many new Twitter third-party developers, such as Brandon, do not offer demos of their apps or trials because that uses up a user token. So it's $2.99 is the price that he's charging for it right now. This 1.1 update brings a lot of great features. There's more in the works and planning. So I hope the video helps you get an idea of how the app is. You can certainly, it's already scored a 5-star perfect rating since it's been in the store since last week. And you, of course, can get on Twitter and find out all the people that are using it and what they think about it. So real quick, I want to run you through the list of updates that Brandon put into version 1.1, which is in the Windows Store. May not be immediately available for you, but it was slowly is rolling out to all the different regions. So as you see here on the start screen, the first thing that you see is a brand new wide tile logo. Got the word Tweetium on it with the silver Tweetium bird. We're going to go on into the app here. A couple of things. The ones I can show you from the list of the updates on the change log, I'm going to point out to you. The others I'll just review and share with you. One of the issues that he fixed off the top was a problem where if you had a list or a search or a profile view, they could get into a state where they stopped refreshing or loading more tweets automatically, so he fixed that issue. He added a feature where you can now pin searches and users to the navigation bar via a new context menu. So let me show you how that works. So if you wanted to look at a user, you click on them. This is TechMeme, for instance, and you now see you have the ability to right-click and pin, and that will now become permanent. And if I go back, the TechMeme page stays as a tab on my navigation bar, and that remains through subsequent sessions. So when you close this session and open a new one, the same thing's going to be there. You can do the same thing for search, and that makes it handy. Let's say if you wanted to search for Tweetium and see what everybody's saying about the 1.1 update, we can do that. There's the search term for Tweetium, and here's all the tweets that have been going out. Again, right-click on it, choose pin, and now that will always stay there no matter where you go in the app. You can even right-click on that and choose open a new window. We're going to talk about the new context menus here in a minute. The navigation tab, that's this area up here at the top, now has options where you can pin, unpin, and repin things using the context menu. So let's go to News, for instance. News is not a tab I use a lot because I also use News Scene, which that is based on. So if I right-click on that, I can choose unpin, and now that is gone, and it will remain that way. Now it's there. It's not gone far. If you see this arrow right here, there is the tab that was there before. All I got to do is click on this, and it adds it back to the end of the navigation bar. And then you have the ability to reorder tabs. So I can right-click on it and move left, and I can keep moving this over to where it was before I removed it. So that feature is in there to completely organize the nav bar in any way you want to do it, with people you want to follow and make sure you're up to date with search terms. And lists can be added here as well. So if you have a Twitter list, like I have this demo list, I can pin that up here as well. Now I'm on my small screen, so I'm going to get rid of I'm going to unpin one of the tabs because I'm on my small screen like I was last week, so I can't put as much in the wider nav bar that I normally can. So you can see right here my Tweetium demo list is right here, and this is those users are on there. Users can be added to these lists. So let's go look in my timeline, and we'll pick an entry from somebody here, the Stalwart, something that got retweeted. Now, if I wanted to add him to a list, one, I'm not following him. I'm not sure this is going to work right. Hang on a minute. Let me go to somebody who I know that I follow, like John Garcia. There it is. Now, you can see on his profile page, there's Add to List. So I can click on that. It pops up my list of Twitter lists, and all of them will be listed there. I click Add, and now, oops, that's not supposed to happen, is it? I think we just found a bit of a bug in version 1.1. We'll have to make sure we point that out to Brandon. But now I'll go back to Twitter demo list, Tweetium demo list, and here's John Garcia been added to my profile along with everybody else. So I'm going to clean these up a little bit. I'm going to unpin that. I'm going to unpin TechMeme. Something else that he did do when it comes to profiles is, one, he added the location and he added the link. If you provide a link in your profile, and that's an active link, so you can click on it. And then he also added the ability to view your favorites. Any tweets that you have favorited over time will appear here. So we'll go back in history. All right, so the next thing on the list, links and images now have context menus to open them up. And what you have to do is you have to click and open a link, and then when you're inside an image, you click right, and there's your open image. It'll open the image into a new web page. And then you also have copy links, so you can copy it and take it into another tweet, or you can take it into to the web browser yourself. It doesn't matter. Expanded tweet age and timestamps. For instance, you see this says just now. Well, if I expand this tweet, that just now becomes a live link. I can click on that, and it will open up the twitter.com page on the web, which this is great because before you couldn't do this. Now you can go in here and you can do things like embed tweet. It makes it a lot easier to access a tweet without having to leave, go to the web, and find the tweet, and then do the embed code and everything like that. There's an option in the settings to bypass T.co links. Now, T.co links are Twitter's wraparound for all links. It's how they scan for malware and keep track of what links are traveling on the service. Well, this is in response, Brandon told me, to a user who is blocked from clicking T.co links, the Twitter links, from their work. So if you turn this on, it will actually bypass the wrapper and give you access directly to the link. Now, you have to be careful here because part of what T.co does for Twitter is it looks for malware and malformed links and helps protect you from that. But if you have a restriction where you can't use it behind a firewall or something like that, this will help you do that. Fixed a problem with conversation views. When you were looking at a conversation, they would scroll to the top when the touch keyboard was dismissed if you were using a touch mode. He improved error handling for tweet submissions. Subscribe lists now maintain their pin status. Again, that was something that wasn't happening between subsequent sessions. But now, as you saw, that if you were to close the app and bring it back open, those things are still pinned there, as we saw accidentally when that crash happened when I added that user to the list. And I'm going to send Brandon the error log for that so he can check into that. He had some issues with some layout things for profile views in snap mode, so he repaired that. He fixed a rare problem where some tweets that contain certain characters wouldn't appear. He fixed links for user handles and hashtags in some cases where they overlap, depending on your screen size. He fixed a crash when using the new window app bar command from user pages or search results views. So if you're looking at a user here, let's say, let's look at Denny McAkins, and I go open a new window, this is working okay now. Apparently that was causing some crashes before, and Brandon repaired that issue. He also fixed image previews that are now centered all the time in the grid view. So when you look at images, they will always be centered in this view, which is just a good clean look as opposed to having them all over the place. He fixed character remaining counts that was causing some errors with touch or mouse. If you are looking at a tweet and you delete it, it will now close that conversation view. That's that expanded view of the tweet. Tweaks to his portrait and snap layout so that things fit more things fit in the nav bar. Again, this is the nav bar here, so if I reduce it down in size, as you'll see, it's replaced with icons. So that makes it a little bit easier to keep track of the things. Now, if you go too small, depending on your screen size, you may lose. Like if I go to 1/3 screen snapped here, I'm going to lose some of them, and that's just the reality of things. But, you know, it's handy to have on a large screen monitor for sure. It allows you to do a lot more and see a lot more. He fixed some pinch zoom things for enlarging images if you're on a touch-based tablet. He also fixed that this text box will clear if you do a search. So if you search for Tweetium and you went to another tab, let's say for Connect, Tweetium stayed in the box here. As you can see now, that gets cleared up. So that's another error that was cleared. Pin lists are no longer delayed, so they appear immediately. He fixed a bug in Control Tab, which allows you to move between tabs. The settings now apply to any open windows. As you know, one of the features that Brandon put in Tweetium was the ability to open multiple instances of the app, and I do this routinely on my large screen. Is I have about 2/3 of the screen taken up by the main Twitter feed, the timeline. Then I have my Connect tab, and then I sometimes have my a search tab or something like that I may be keeping an eye on something. And what that does is it allows me to view those things, and now those things are not as badly formatted with all the changes he made. And if I make a change, it impacts all the windows, not just the main primary window or the one that's got the focus. He added some new animations and animation improvements to help on low-end machines. And as I mentioned at the top of this, he added the new Wild Tile logo. So I hope this video gives you a little bit of insight, and I apologize for the crash. I mean, you never know when that kind of stuff is going to happen in an app. Like I said, I am going to give Brandon the info he needs to help fix that. But considering this is just 6 days after the release of Tweetium 1.0, Brandon has added a lot of great features. And if you go to the user voice page for Tweetium, you can see he's considering many, many other features. And I know for a fact that push notifications and live tile is coming. He's working on that in and amongst fixing and tweaking all these other things as well. So if you want to see the complete changelog here, all you've got to do is go visit the Tweetium page, tweetiumapp.com. Look at the support page there. Brandon has a massive changelog, one of the best changelogs that are going. Unfortunately, that's an issue we have with a lot of apps in the store. There aren't changelogs to talk about what's changed or what's improved or what you can expect. Brandon does a great job of updating that on his support site so that you can know exactly what it is he's been working on and stuff. So until next time, we'll keep you up to date. Stay safe out there.